So I started this year very intentional about what I was reading, because I wanted to get back into really focused, smart goal setting, right? And I decided to read Woman Evolve. So, reasons I decided to read Woman Evolve by Sarah Jakes Roberts is simply because last year I discovered her on YouTube. I discovered her sermons, and I was quite fascinated by how relatable she was in a lot of her um in a lot of her sermons. I mean, there's some that I found myself crying. She is very relatable to me. She she speaks on the challenges that we all face, especially as women, the fears that stop us from reaching our goals, the doubts, holding on to relationships that we should have let go of, not asking for help. So when I found out she wrote a book, I was like, hey, let's give it a chance. And I was quite impressed. Um, it's an easy to read book, easy to read. I read it over the holidays and finished it quite quickly. It was not complex at all. What I like about it is that when, as you're reading it, she encourages you to have a journal, so you journal through each chapter. It's like a workbook. So by the time you've completed the book, you could have set your smart goals for the year. Reminded yourself of the plans you have for your life, and also how you're gonna go about it, and also just um, took charge of the insecurities that own you, that stop you. So she makes you, she really digs in to you, right? So a little bit about the author, Sarah Jakes Roberts. She is Bishop T.D. Jakes' daughter, so she's a pastor's kid. She did not have the easiest childhood. And when I say she did not have the easiest childhood, this is not a rags to riches story. I would be lying, you guys, if you read about her. She was your typical pastor's kid, naughty. From what I pick up, she was quite rebellious. She was pregnant at 13, married early, was in a toxic marriage, had jealous fights, fits of rage. So she has been through it. She's done it, and she speaks on that a lot. And not just that, she just doesn't hold on to that story. She holds on to, even now as a mom, um, as a mom and a wife to the guy she's married to now, and now she's a pastor, right, at her dad's church. She speaks to that, and she speaks to challenges she faces. She speaks on the impact of COVID. She speaks on how she's doubted herself. A lot of the time we'd see her on her YouTube, on stage, I guess preaching, and she'll speak on how she did it scared. She did it doubting herself. So this book takes us through that as she studies someone who, in the Bible, she feels is the most unappreciated woman, and that is Eve. And it's the first time through Sarah where I have heard the story of Eve from a different light. Usually, when we speak about Eve, it's the apple, the snake, the influence on Adam to also eat the apple. Like, how, girl, why did you just not enjoy the garden? You know? So she unpacks Eve as she finds what's relatable about Eve to us and to herself. And hence the evolve part, because I feel like as women, we write ourselves off too soon. I mean, you see it with all the content that's going around now, where women are judged for being single moms, where women are judged for how many men they date, where women are judged for all the decisions. If you stay, you judged. If you leave, you judged. If you're a career woman, you judged. A housewife, you're judged for everything, right? And she speaks on those things. She speaks about navigating life through the fact that the standards set for us seem a bit high and a little weird. um, and to hear from someone who's like a pastor is quite fascinating, because when I think church, I mean, don't ask me when the last time I went to church. Please don't. Please do not even comment. Um, when you think church, and you hear stories about what happens in church, we wouldn't expect someone who's old, like a pastor, to take this stand, especially to align with someone like Eve. And just the blurb here where she says, "We're so blinded by her mistake that we don't see how she gathered the pieces she had left and dared to revolutionize her life." How many times have you been blinded by your mistakes that you do not see how you have gathered pieces that you have left and dare to revolutionize your life? We hold on to our mistakes. And that's what Sarah is doing for us in this book. Because one of the key lessons from this book for me was, just as you think you've been through it all, there is only something else that is just like, can I catch a break? And that is that is the things that Sarah unpacks in her book. Short chapters, like I said, easy to read, journaling, work it out. Hopefully, I don't know if you can see this. So there's the workout place. So she'll ask you a question like in this one, in this chapter, which is called Work the Weight. Like one of the questions is, what are the most important character traits you most possess to maximize your dream role, right? How are these skills showing up where you are now, right? And here she's talking about careers that your career growth. And she really got me thinking a lot about appreciating where I am in life, my job, work life, studies, a lot of things that I'm doing, but also always kind of ensuring that I'm working towards where I want to be. Because we all have these dreams, right? And our dreams are wild and beautiful and magic. And sometimes we think not attainable. And we don't realize the small little things that we are constantly doing. The habits that we are always forming actually help us to get to the big dream. So that is what Sarah is doing with this book, right? Here's an interesting line where she says, "Don't fall into the trap of only presenting your good parts to God. You're a person, not a persona." Does not, excuse me, does that not sound like something you would say about social media? How we are overly curated. So she is saying you cannot be overly curated for the divine power, right? And so your prayers sound like an Instagram post. Show up as you. Um, it is important when reading this book, I feel, to do it in a space when, like, your journaling time, your quiet time. And why I say that is because, especially with when she asks the questions, you really want to deep dive into yourself, to dig deep into what she's asking, so you can answer it. Because it's not like you are giving it to someone else. It's a mirror in front of you, so that you can come out of reading this book, having set your intentions for the next 6 months, for the year, and remembering why you are doing it. What's your purpose for it? And yeah, that was what I took from this phenomenal woman. But I might have missed something. So let's chat about it. Please add a comment below. Let me know if you've read this book. Please let me know what were your takeouts. What did you enjoy? What didn't you enjoy? I mean, let's talk about it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. What you want me to discuss further? Maybe I could do a second video about this book. Yeah, let's have a conversation, because one thing I don't want us to fall into the trap of doing, and I hope I do not fall into that trap and the next video I post is in 8 months. um let's start doing the things that bring us joy and do them consistently and without fear and without holding ourselves back, and without waiting for things to be perfect. Another lesson from here, because we tend to do that, and thinking that because you've learned your lesson from your previous um, experience, that you must now be the strong woman all day every day, you know. um this is just a reminder of that. That's why I say, when you look at her journey, she just doesn't look back at herself as a teen, even now as a woman, where she is. She speaks on that because we are constantly being challenged, and we're constantly challenging ourselves and constantly doubting ourselves, constantly in fear. And we have to just get in the habit of showing up whilst in fear. So yeah, let's please comment below about this, and let me know your thoughts. And thank you for watching.